Drone Technology in Modern Warfare, Security, Ethics, and the Israel-US-Iran Case Study. Group 13, a 215408 Wang Terui. Hello everyone. Welcome to my video analysis titled Drone Technology in Modern Warfare, Security, Ethics, and the Israel-US-Iran Case Study. My name is Wang Terui, and my student ID is a 215408. I am from Group 13. In this video, I will discuss how drone technology is used in modern warfare. I will use the current geopolitical tensions involving Israel, the United States, and Iran as a case study. This video will focus on three main perspectives: technology, security, and ethics. The purpose of this discussion is not to support any side in the conflict. Instead, the purpose is to understand how drone technology has changed modern warfare, why countries increasingly need drone systems, and why ethical and humanitarian rules are very important. First, let us look at the background of the issue. The Middle East has been one of the most sensitive regions in the world. Tensions involving Israel, the United States, Iran, and other regional actors have affected regional security, global energy markets, and international diplomacy. In this environment, modern military technology has become very important. Drones, missiles, cyber systems, satellites, and artificial intelligence are now part of national defense strategies. Among these technologies, drones are especially important because they are flexible, relatively low cost, and useful for many military purposes. In simple words, a military drone is an unmanned aircraft that can be controlled remotely or operate with different levels of automation. Some drones are used only for surveillance and information gathering. Some drones can carry weapons. Other drones may be used as decoys, communication tools, or support systems. In modern warfare, drones are no longer just small flying cameras. They have become important tools for information, strategy, and military operations. One major role of drones is aerial surveillance. Surveillance means watching or monitoring an area. In war, information is very important. A military force needs to know where threats may come from, where enemy movements are happening, and what is happening near borders or sensitive areas. Drones can fly over areas and provide real-time images or videos. This helps military commanders understand the situation more clearly. For example, drones can monitor borders, military bases, roads, sea routes, or conflict zones. Compared with sending soldiers into dangerous areas, drones can collect information from the air with lower risk to human life. The second role of drones is intelligence gathering. Intelligence gathering means collecting useful information for decision-making. Drones can use cameras, sensors, thermal imaging, and communication systems to collect data. This information can help identify possible threats, track movement, and support military planning. In the Israel-United States-Iran case study, intelligence is very important because the region is complex. There are state actors, non-state armed groups, military bases, air defense systems, sea routes, and civilian areas. Drones can help collect information in such a complicated environment. The third role of drones is tactical strike operations. Some drones are used to attack military targets. Compared with traditional aircraft, drones can sometimes be smaller, cheaper, and less risky for pilots because there is no pilot inside the aircraft. However, this also creates serious ethical concerns. If a drone strike is inaccurate, or if the information is wrong, civilians may be harmed. This is why drone use in warfare must follow strict rules. The fourth role is the use of low-cost drones in modern military strategies. In recent conflicts around the world, low-cost drones have become more common. They may not be as advanced as expensive military aircraft, but they can still create major pressure. Some drones are used for surveillance while others may be used to distract air defense systems or attack equipment. This changes the balance of warfare. In the past, only countries with large budgets could use advanced air power. Today, cheaper drone systems can give smaller forces new capabilities. This is one reason why many countries are now investing in drone technology and counter-drone systems. Now, let us discuss why nations increasingly require drone technology in their defense systems. The first reason is protecting national sovereignty. Sovereignty means a country's right to control and protect its own territory. In a world with growing tensions, countries need to monitor their borders, airspace, coastline, and important infrastructure. Drones can help countries detect threats earlier. They can support patrols, border surveillance, and maritime monitoring. The second reason is enhancing border surveillance capabilities. Many countries have long borders, coastlines, mountains, deserts, or sea routes. It is difficult and expensive to monitor all these areas using only human patrols. Drones can cover large areas more quickly. They can provide visual information, detect unusual movement, and support security agencies. For countries facing regional tensions, this ability is very important. The third reason is reducing risks to military personnel. War is dangerous. Sending soldiers or pilots into hostile areas can lead to injury or death. Drones can reduce some of these risks by performing certain tasks remotely. For example, drones can be used to inspect dangerous areas before soldiers enter. They can monitor conflict zones, search for threats, and support rescue operations. However, reducing risk for one side does not remove the responsibility to protect civilians. This is a very important ethical point. Now, let us move to the ethical and humanitarian concerns. Drone technology may be useful for defense, but it also creates serious questions. The first concern is the risk to civilian populations. In armed conflicts, civilians must be protected. A military operation should not treat civilian areas as simple targets. If drones are used in crowded cities or near civilian infrastructure, the risk of civilian harm becomes very high. This is why international humanitarian law is important. It requires parties in conflict to distinguish between military targets and civilians. It also requires proportionality and precaution. In simple words, even during war, there are rules. The second concern is human accountability. As drones become more autonomous, a difficult question appears: who is responsible if something goes wrong? Is it the operator? Is it the commander? Is it the programmer? Is it the government? Or is it the company that developed the system? This question is especially important when artificial intelligence is used in military technology. A machine should not be allowed to make life and death decisions without meaningful human control. Human beings must remain responsible for decisions involving the use of force. The third concern is the misuse of drone technology. Drones can be used for legitimate defense, but they can also be misused. They may be used to attack civilian infrastructure, spread fear, or escalate conflicts. When drones become cheaper and easier to access, the risk of misuse becomes higher. Non-state armed groups may also gain access to drone systems. This can make conflicts more unpredictable. Now, let us analyze how the misuse of drone technology may affect global security. First, drone misuse can increase the risk of escalation. If one country uses drones near another country's airspace or military facilities, the other side may see it as a threat. This can lead to retaliation and a wider conflict. In tense regions like the Middle East, even one incident can create serious consequences. Second, drone misuse can affect geopolitical stability. Countries may start competing to develop more advanced drones, stronger air defense systems, and more autonomous weapons. This can increase mistrust between nations. When countries feel threatened, they may spend more on military technology instead of diplomacy, education, healthcare, or development. Third, drone technology can increase military innovation competition. Countries may compete to build faster, cheaper, smarter, and more autonomous drones. This can create a technology race. Innovation itself is not wrong, but if innovation is focused only on military advantage without ethical control, it can become dangerous. This is why the world needs responsible rules for drone technology. Now, let us discuss possible measures to ensure drone technology is used responsibly and ethically. The first measure is clear international rules. Countries should work together to strengthen rules on the use of drones in armed conflict. These rules should protect civilians, limit misuse, and clarify responsibility. The second measure is compliance with international humanitarian law. All military drone operations should follow the principles of distinction, proportionality, and precaution. Distinction means separating military targets from civilians. Proportionality means avoiding attacks where civilian harm would be excessive compared with the expected military advantage. Precaution means taking steps to reduce harm to civilians. The third measure is meaningful human control. Even if drones use artificial intelligence, human beings should remain involved in important decisions. Machines can support decision-making, but they should not replace human moral responsibility. The fourth measure is transparency and accountability. Governments should have clear procedures for approving drone operations. There should also be investigation and accountability if mistakes or violations happen. The fifth measure is investment in defensive and protective systems. Countries need systems to detect and defend against hostile drones. But defensive technology should also be used carefully, especially in civilian areas. The sixth measure is international cooperation. Drone risks are not limited to one country. They can affect regional and global security. Therefore, countries, international organizations, researchers, and humanitarian groups should work together. In conclusion, drone technology has changed modern warfare. Drones can provide surveillance, intelligence, tactical support, and lower-risk operations for military personnel. They can help countries protect sovereignty and improve defense capabilities. However, drones also create serious ethical and humanitarian concerns. They can increase risks to civilians, create accountability problems, and contribute to military technology competition. The Israel-United States-Iran case study shows that drone technology is part of a much larger security environment. It is connected to national defense, regional tensions, global stability, and humanitarian responsibility. The future of warfare should not be decided only by who has the most advanced technology. It should also be guided by law, ethics, and humanity. Technology can protect people, but it can also harm people if it is misused. Therefore, the key challenge is to balance technological innovation, national security, and ethical responsibility. Drone technology should be used responsibly, ethically, and in line with humanitarian principles and global security frameworks. Thank you for watching my video analysis.